got the dreaded SSS on my ticket, which means you get an extra security search, and it also means that you get to board the plane first. So this is the one only time I'm ever going to get to be first on a plane.
Well, be very safe on the journey, wherever that may take you. Thank you and farewell.
We've just arrived in Seattle and Jamie has already lost his wallet. We did get to speak to the pilot though, who was really nice, so that was a bonus. And he found his wallet, it was in the seat pocket. So folks, take this as your reminder to always check everywhere on the flight. Do not leave your wallet behind.
If you do, you might get to speak to the pilot.
So we just had an absolute nightmare. We didn't realise that there was no Wi-Fi in the airport, and we had to try and get the door code for the Airbnb, and we had absolutely no internet, so we were asking around. Nobody had internet, and we had to basically like beg people to use their hotspot. So we found a nice guy and he let us use his hotspot on his phone, and we managed to connect and get the code. So we're finally on our way, thankfully, with the address and the door code. I'm so grateful we're finally here. We got off the plane, immediately Jamie was like, I've lost my wallet, I don't know where it is. We then got to the airport and we'd like planned, because usually like all or most airports have like an airport Wi-Fi, and it turns out that that was down, so we couldn't get our eSIM, so we had no internet, and luckily we had the address for this accommodation, but we didn't have the door code. Thankfully there was a really nice guy that let us do that on his hotspot, so we got the door code, we hopped in a taxi, and we're finally here. But it's literally been the longest travel day ever. Thankfully we have a place to sleep tonight, and yeah, we can just sit down. I've got Pringles, oh, and I've got digestive biscuits that got a goodie bag. I stocked up on snacks just in case, but we've got a few goodies in here, including a Terry's chocolate orange. Also, there was more drama. So at the airport in London, I get the like SSS thing on my ticket, and I have to like get taken aside separately, like taken downstairs. They scanned all my stuff, like swabbed everything. Honestly, like we have been tested today. Thankfully we've passed all the tests, but I'm ready for bed.
Fun fact, last time we were in Seattle last year, lost my wallet.
That's not a fun fact. That's a terrible fact.
Well, it's fun in hindsight, it's not fun at the time, but I probably shouldn't come to Seattle anymore. It's my cursed place.
So Jamie's going to give us a tour of this Airbnb.
It's going to be a very quick tour.
So firstly, why are we staying here?
Just to sleep.
No!
What do you mean?
So why have we chosen this spot?
Because it's near the airport.
Yeah! Ding ding ding!
And we just needed somewhere to crash.
Yeah.
So we can pass out and then go and get the boat tomorrow morning.
Also, because it's Labor Day weekend, everywhere was like astronomical prices. Like I'm talking like hundreds of pounds. I said hundreds of thousands of pounds. Like
to buy.
Hundreds of pounds per night, which is ridiculous for like the most basic thing. So this was the cheapest we could find, and it's like fine. It's like near the airport. It's totally fine. Anyway, back to the tour.
Kitchen. It's very practical. 2 microwaves. Nothing else but 2 microwaves.
I think one's like like a little mini oven.
Central.
That's a microwave. That's a mini like oven thing. Cute little kitchen bit there. All right, Jamie, take us.
Moving on. Bathroom. Has all the bathroom things.
Shower, shampoo and conditioner.
Quite a cool sink actually. You know. Rest of the Airbnb. There you go. Luxurious.
It is obviously a studio. A table, bed, TV, just for tonight basically, before we go and head straight into Canada. We are ready to start fresh again in the morning and head to Vancouver Island. So yeah, we're going to be getting up in the morning and then heading to the Clipper ferry, which is exciting because I didn't even know that existed until we bumped into some people in Cornwall and they told us about it. So we're going to go more into the centre of Seattle and then get the Clipper, which goes across from there to Victoria on Vancouver Island. It's a little bit more expensive, but for the convenience, it's definitely worth it. So that'll be us tomorrow, but for now, I'm gonna say goodbye and see you in the morning because I'm shattered. come down to Pike Place Market. We've actually been here before, but we've just finished our breakfast. Gonna wander around and then go get the ferry. It's so sunny. The first ever Starbucks is just behind us. There's always a huge queue. We had a little wander through the Pike Place Market, and now we are trundling down the road with all of our bags, looking like full tourist, and heading towards the FRS Clipper boat that we're going to take from Pier 69 to Victoria in Vancouver Island with all of our bags, but we're getting there quite early so that we can check our big bags in. I think it's an extra $20, could be 30, and you're allowed 2 bags I think, and then like a hand luggage. But apparently their hand luggage allowance is less than the usual airline one, so that's worth checking if you are going to take this fast boat. But yeah, luckily, well actually I was going to say luckily all the roads have been like this, like fairly flat, but actually the one that we just walked down was like full cobbled street for like 10 minutes. By the way, that boat is not the one we're getting on. That's just a cruise ship, but it's huge. It's literally like a block of flats on the ocean. It's insane. But the view from over here is really cool. This is the bridge to get to Pier 66. Look at that. In Victoria, we got an Uber to our next Airbnb, which is where I am right now, and we've just ordered some poutine for dinner. Check this out. Okay, it looks kind of grim there, but it's actually so good. This is my one, that's Jamie's one. He found a vegetarian one. Mine's got chicken, gravy, cheese and chips. We're gonna watch a movie and eat our poutine, and then I'll catch you guys in the morning where we'll start our proper adventure. We're going to pick up the car, so we'll get on the road and start exploring more of Vancouver Island. Good morning guys, so we are at Victoria Airport, which is kind of northeast of Victoria, and we've come to collect our rental car. I don't know what it's going to be, so we're about to find out. So we are supposed to be driving to Ucluelet, which is like further north up Vancouver Island, but we are on the edge of the little like town where we're going to be spending 6 weeks and living there for 6 weeks with our house sit. So we were too curious, and we're going to go and have a look and see what it's like. We've decided to park up and have a look for breakfast and just have a little walk down the main road. It looks good so far. Just gone for a little wander with our tea, and we're going to see what this area is like where we'll be staying for the next 6 weeks. Not yet. In 2 weeks time we'll be staying here for 6 weeks. It looks really cute so far. Apparently there's loads of bookstores, coffee shops, all that kind of stuff, so yeah, let's take a look. Look how cool this is. So we're here. This is where we're going to be staying. These are all the wildlife sightings from September the 1st. Big orcas. Orcas, humpback whales, orcas, minke whales. Oh, that's so cool. And yesterday we came, I think, up here from Seattle. Was it?
Yeah, this way, but then we went
yeah.
to the port in Victoria.
Down here. Okay.
Not that far.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Victoria Harbour.
And then today we drove up here. And then we're going to be driving all the way back up here and oof, that way. It feels really peaceful here, like very quiet. I just find it so crazy that we can like suddenly be here just from a random decision to apply for a house sit online. Like you can literally press a button on the internet and then suddenly you're like in this little town off the coast of Vancouver Island. Like, how random is that? It just goes to show though like how one thing can literally like change the direction of your life, which I think is so cool. Jamie has decided that we're going to pick himself up. Pick himself up? How do you
pick myself up?
Pick himself up. A camera.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Big purchase boy.
Big purchase boy. My new street name.
Jamie just bought himself a new Sony camera and I'm so jealous. What one was it?
The A7C Mark II. With a lens.
With a lens. With a zoom lens. Because we're heading up to go and hopefully film some bears, grizzly bears. So you need a really good zoom lens. I'm hoping mine will suffice for the moment. I'm really tempted to get a new camera, but it's so expensive.
I now have to dance for money.
When you're driving around in Canada, like I literally have to keep my camera on my lap because every 2 seconds I'm like winding the window down. I just did the old-fashioned winding. It's not, it's an electric window. You can see my age. I'm like winding the window down and like capturing like the most insane views of like cliffs with like lakes and ocean and everything. And there's like golden eagles like going overhead. They are golden, right?
Bald,
No.
I think. Bald eagles.
Are they?
I think.
But they're not bald.
No, they're not bald.
Eagles, the ones with like the brown and then the white, and then yeah, I'm gonna put a picture here, but those eagles are like flying overhead. Like there's so many cool birds, and also like there's a huge chance as well that when you're driving around Vancouver Island you can actually just see like bears on the side of the road. It is so insane. Like it happened to us last time we were here. We were just driving along and this like baby bear just like walked across the road, and it was like the most mind-blowing thing ever. But yeah, I'm having to just like keep an eye out just to like try and shoot every view that goes past, because each one is just like the most crazy thing ever. It still hasn't really sunk in that we're on this like massive trip. Like, you're right there.
Don't want to waste any.
Yeah, it hasn't really sunk in that we're on this massive trip. Like, it's kind of just registering that we're in Canada, but like there's so much more ahead of us and it just feels really weird. Like, you can't take it in. It's really weird. But I kind of had a bit of a moment at the airport where we were like, this is so weird. It's something that we've dreamed of, or at least I've dreamed of for like years of doing, like having the freedom to be able to kind of just go where you want, as long as you've obviously got your laptop and a Wi-Fi connection, because it felt so unattainable like years ago. And then obviously everything that happened with the whole world crisis back in 2020, it kind of like created this new era of people being able to kind of work remotely. And I never really thought it was realistic unless you kind of worked for yourself and was like a freelancer or whatever. But there's so many jobs out there now, including my own, that make it so much more possible. And it's just a really weird thought, because I guess for so long it's been like a dream and you're constantly like, oh, how do I make that happen? And then things just kind of align, or you kind of go for the jobs, you know, that could make that happen, and then it happens and you're like, wait, what? It's supermarket time. I bloody love going into random supermarkets in different countries and seeing what they have, just running around like a crazy person.
Something that isn't beige.
That is loads of grapes.
What do they have less
that
grapes?
many grapes.
Watch me.
Cheese pleasers. Classic backup food, pasta.
Oh my god, you could just get Yorkshire puddings and gravy. They know what they're doing.
He's
I got those terrifying looking mac and cheese that they had to peel off of the metal tray. They're like it'd been there for about a week.
It didn't look very appealing, I'm not gonna lie.
But at least it's warm. Not hot, warm.
We've just arrived at our Airbnb in Ucluelet, and it's really nice. It's very clean, it's quite cozy. Jamie's just making pasta in the kitchen. I'll give you a quick tour. Jamie, what are you cooking?
Pasta. Gourmet.
It's literally pasta sauce and a pepper.
Yeah, but it's the fancy stuff.
So, a little kitchen there. Dining table, just here. Little lounge area. Blankets, lamps. We love to see blankets and lamps. Then we've got the bathroom in here. Just pretty cool. We also noticed that there's a huge collection of National Geographics down here, which is pretty cool. And this really epic photograph of a bear. Really cool. Then you've got the bedroom just out the back here. Cute. And this, which is playing like cute sounds. You've got like ocean, mountains, meadow. It's like background noise. So yes, we've arrived here. I'm quite excited to show you this place because it's very like adventurous. I would say it's like, it's well known, but it's kind of also off the beaten track. Like, it's quite cool. It's one of those places where you have to like travel a little bit to get to it. Like, it was about 3-hour drive from Victoria, but it's literally through like the most remote like mountains and forests, and it's really cool. It's a very, very cool drive, but you kind of feel like you're driving into the middle of nowhere. But it's definitely well worth coming here. Like, the beaches are incredible. There's wolves, bears, cougars, all sorts of wildlife, and loads of hiking, surfing. So yeah, I'm excited to show you guys a bit more of this area. This is a Pacific Rim National Park. So you've got Ucluelet down the bottom and then Tofino up top. And yeah, there's so much to see. So tomorrow I think we're going to start checking it out and hopefully show you guys some more of the area. But for now, I'm going to enjoy my pasta and say good night.